So I'm going to say Seattle defense.
Yeah, and my last one, I'm going to go with quarterback. And honestly, this week, I know we talked about a little bit before, is I like Big Ben versus the Washington football team.
You think it rapes them?
I do. I think the wide receiving core is just a little bit too much for that Washington team. Don't get me wrong; they've been playing better lately, but I mean they played Dallas,
Right.
So
Right.
let's see how it goes. All the things point to Big Ben having a good day.
Did you see the thing where Jerry Jones came out and he basically said that his quarterback situation with his 7th round rookie was worse than the Broncos had with their practice squad wide receiver?
I did not see that.
Yeah,
I would.
he
loved
came
to
out
see
and said he
that.
does not feel bad for Denver because he had the same problem and his situation was worse, having to play DiNucci, the 7th rounder, when
At least he had a quarterback.
Exactly.
The fuck is he smoking?
And the thing is this guy was taking quarterback reps in all the practices and stuff like that, even on a practice squad. The Hilton or whatever from
I never
Denver,
played an NFL snap.
He hasn't played quarterback in 2 years, and then when he did,
Right.
he only had 5 snaps for Wake Forest. He was a backup, and he was converting to wide receiver.
My honest opinion about the Denver situation, I think they should have went with the Royce Freeman thing because at least it's a guy that's been playing in the NFL all year
Yeah.
and has seen live action. You brought in a guy who's never even played in the NFL, right? He's a practice squad guy, right?
Yeah.
And then threw him in the most important position. I know it's a tough situation, but I think Royce Freeman and just running the Wildcat would have been a better option than what you saw with that guy.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think no matter what, like, playing Royce Freeman's a lot like going down on your sister. Like, it tastes the same, but you still know it's wrong.
What the fuck?
So obviously I feel bad for Denver when it comes to that regard, but I'm with you 100%. So, all right, let's talk a little bit about the move out segment. So, I am gonna start OG. I am gonna start with one that they call Kyler Flyer Murray. So last 2 weeks, he's only had 2 touchdowns, 46 rushing yards. I'm telling you that shoulder's a concern. He's now facing the Rams, second best defense to fantasy quarterbacks. They're only giving up 224 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, 11 picks, and they've only allowed 3 rushing touchdowns, and they're giving up an average of 15 fantasy points per game. I'm telling you now, I don't like Kyler Murray, and Mitch Trubisky, Daddy needs you.
I feel like my move out list contradicts your move in or yours.
That's fine, man. Great minds can disagree.
Yeah, they can. I mean, I think you don't play the Rams defense this week against Arizona.
Okay.
Even though you're pulling out their quarterback.
Yeah, I'm pulling them out.
So explain that one.
I mean, listen, Rams defense they're good.
They are.
I mean, they got, like I said, Troy Hill, Jalen Ramsey, but I think you're taking the upside with the fact that Arizona's offense, when they want to be, they can be so explosive.
Yep.
So this could go one of two ways. This could be a 35-38 game, or this could be a game where Arizona just gets shut down and it's a 21-17 game. So I'm not, listen, all we can do is tell you the numbers. All right, I talked about it before. I'm going to talk about it again. Mr. Todd Gurley. Again, I don't care if it's Brian Hill, Ito Smith. Don't matter to me none. Last game against New Orleans, 8 carries, 26 yards, 1 catch for 3. Saints are allowing the league low, 64 yards rushing to running backs, and they've only given up 3 tutties on the ground and 2 through the air. I don't like any plays when it comes to the Atlanta running backs this week.
All right, I don't like J.D. McKissick this week versus Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has not been friendly to pass-catching running backs, and that's what he thrives on. Gibson's going to get the bulk of the regular carries, and I just don't see him having the workload there.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. I think it's going to be tough for either running back, to be honest, going against that Pittsburgh D, especially if Pittsburgh has some time to prepare for this game. I think this game's going to be played, Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah, Monday, I think, currently.
Yeah,
right?
so obviously it gives Washington a little bit more time to prepare, but yeah, I agree with you. I'm not gonna. I'll tell you what. I'm not rushing J.D. McKissick into my lineup.
Yeah, Monday at 5.
Okay, Monday at 5. I'm gonna stay with that running back theme, and I'm gonna go with one Mister that they call Alvin Kamara. So with Hill at quarterback, Kamara isn't seeing targets or red zone usage. Less than 14 carries past 5 weeks. He's only had 1 reception in 2 games for -2 yards with Hill at quarterback. And basically, Atlanta is they're allowing more rushing touchdowns to the quarterback than they are to running backs. So they give up 6 rushing touchdowns to quarterbacks, and they've only given up 4 rushing touchdowns to running backs. So I do not like Alvin Kamara this week, which really hurts me because I need him. I need him now more than Chris Kringle needs elves. So,
all right, I'm gonna pull out Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt.
So yeah, I mean it's tough. Kareem Hunt's talented as hell, and he can be a good fantasy play. But with Nick Chubb getting the bulk of the carries and producing like he has versus a tough Tennessee team that I think they're going to be down, I just don't see Kareem Hunt having the volume to have a good day fantasy wise as well as Chubb.
Listen, I got Kareem outside my top 20, and I got Chubb, I think, inside my top 10. I agree with you. I think Chubb is getting more and more, like last week, what I noticed, Chubb got a lot of red zone usage, and when I wanted it to be Hunt because he was killing me, it was still going to Nick Chubb. So I agree. Nick Chubb's more well-rested from coming off IR just a few weeks ago. I am going to go with one that they call Mr. DeAndre, and they did not name the mints after him. But DeAndre Hopkins. Past 2 weeks, guys had 106 yards. Basically, he's only given 10.1 points and then 10.5 against Seattle, against the Patriots, where you expect them to get more points. Now they face the Rams defense that you're not a fan of. Again, Jalen Ramsey, Troy Hill. That Rams defense has only allowed 6 touchdowns to wide receivers. And out of 223 passing yards allowed, only 124 of them have been going to wide receivers. So I do not like one that they call D-Hop this week. He's still a play. The thing about this move in and move out list for all you listeners out there is just because we're saying we don't like someone doesn't mean you should jump out and put in a trash player because we're saying we don't like them. We're just saying
the potential is there for them.
The potential's there.
The numbers are lining up where it could be a bad day.
I can't sleep comfortably knowing that I'm rolling out with these guys. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I'm not going to take it that far. I'm just going to say the numbers aren't favorable. Yeah. But you do the
I'll lose sleep.
You lose sleep. I don't want to lose sleep. I can't afford to lose anymore.
All right. What do you got next?
Yeah. Calvin Ridley this week. The Saints defense has been unreal good. They're number 1 against wide receivers. If it could go either way. It could be either Julio gets shut down or Ridley. But I think honestly Julio has the better day of the two. I think Ridley has a low day against the Saints.
Yeah, I'm actually pulling that info up right now on my man Calvin. I am a Calvin Ridley owner in virtually all my leagues, to be honest with you. So last time they played, he had 5 for 90 for 14. But I can tell you, like, Matt Ryan just looked at him way too much. Matt Ryan threw like 3 picks, and I think 2 of them he was targeting Calvin Ridley on. That Saints defense has just been phenomenal these last few weeks, and I agree with you. I can't justify why. Again, I have Calvin Ridley in my lineup because I can't justify sitting him with the year he's had. But if he doesn't produce, the numbers say he's not going to produce. So that's just what the numbers say. I'm going to follow you again on that wide receiver position. I'm going to give one that they say Mike Williams. So Mike Williams from the Los Angeles Chargers. His highest number of catches this year has been 5. He's very touchdown dependent. He's too inconsistent for me to roll out with. And the Patriots are ranked 6th best to plays over 20 yards. They don't give up a lot of long balls. They did against that week in Seattle, but it's too risky of a wide receiver. He's my wide receiver 36 this week for me. So unless you're in a 12-team, 3 wide receiver set, or you're going to start him in that flex, I see Mike Williams spending some time on that pine pony. So,
all right. So I know this isn't going to be a hot take, but I do not like Michael Thomas this week.
Ouch.
Yes. Listen, he came back. He's come back from injury. He scored 7. He scored 3. Then he scored 14. And then he went back to 7.
Yeah.
Yes, Atlanta's, allowing third most points to wide receivers. But he's not doing well with Taysom Hill. I mean, Taysom he's targeting him. I know last week we said, hey, because of the targets.
Yeah. I mean, 1 week the guy throws him to him every pass.
Yeah.
And then next week
next week it's nothing.
It's like he's Casper out there.
I don't like the Taysom Hill Michael Thomas combo. I don't think it's a trustworthy number one receiver in your fantasy lineup. Maybe a flex play. As far as him being your number one this week, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, as a Michael Thomas owner in a few of my leagues, I'm still rolling out with him just because I don't have anything else.
I mean, it's once again,
and the upside is there.
Thomas.
Yeah, the upside is obviously there playing Atlanta, but I see what you're saying. I can't disagree with the statistics. Tight end for me, Mr. One Logan Thomas. Listen, strictly this real quick stat. Pittsburgh's the best team against tight end position. They've only allowed 6.2 fantasy points, and they've only allowed 4 targets, and they've only given up 1 tutty. Those are the stats. That's all I can give you. That's why I say Logan Thomas, not someone I'd want in my tight end spot.
All right, I'm going to go with Hunter Henry this for my last one here, or my second to last one.
I like it.
Pat's defense has been tough on tight ends.
Yep.
Hunter Henry hasn't actually, he's not been blowing up the scoreboard. He's been better as of late, 10, 12, 11 the last 3 weeks. But New England is not a good matchup for him.
Agreed.
And then you're talking about splitting. You got Austin Eckler back, who they like to throw to you out of the backfield, and then you have Keenan Allen and Mike Williams with 7-8 targets apiece. I just don't see the volume or the matchup for Hunter Henry this week.
Yeah, I'll follow you. So Pats have only allowed 1 tight end touchdown this year. They're averaging about 7.2 points fantasy-wise in a PPR format to the tight end position. I think I agree with you. I can't disagree. All right, I'm going to end it with the Cleveland Brownies. So the Cleveland Brownies defense, 5 yards per carry, 29 touchdowns this season. They're playing Tennessee. Listen, this is going to be a Derrick Henry game for days. Derrick Henry is going to have a field day with that defense, regardless if Myles Garrett plays. He'll impact it, but not as much as you would expect. Myles Garrett is a phenomenal pass rusher. But Derrick Henry's just going to have a game. You can book that. He is my number 2 running back this week. I'm easily over 20 points fantasy.
All right, my last move out is I don't trust Matty Ice this week. I know he fucked you over, so you have a bad.
Yeah. He's dead.
Anyways, he's dead to you. He's not invited to Christmas dinner. He was kicked out of the extra spare bedroom here.
Exactly.
So I think you take him out this week. The reason why I say it, I know he's put up good numbers throughout the year, and then he's had his stinker. But the Saints defense has just been so freaking good.
Yeah.
I like them getting a couple picks from him. I don't think he has the. I think the Saints are gonna run the ball.
Yeah.
And control the clock. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of time in the game for Matty Ice to have those numbers.
Yeah, I agree. I think with Taysom Hill at quarterback, they're gonna try to game manage the shit out of the game. I do think that this, for Matthew Ice, if he wants to stay a part of my life, he'll at least throw to Calvin Ridley. But
I can't afford that if I move out.
I know. But I'm with you. Listen, the Saints D's been they're phenomenal, tremendous. I meant tremendous.
Tremendous, yeah.
Public school. So I agree.
Words are hard.
So that is going to wrap it up for this week's Move In and Move Out segment. I do have a quick question came in from a caller asking who he should pick up on waivers. He needs a running back this week, and basically it is freaking thin. He is a Brian Hill owner, but he was asking me who he should pick up. If I'm picking up anyone, Anthony, I'm probably picking up Cam Akers. I was looking at the statistics before the call, and the reason I'm picking him up, he had 9 touches. It's a loaded backfield. You have to understand that. But he actually had a breakout performance. He actually had over 14 points. And so I think that they're slowly leaning towards Cam Akers in that backfield. Darrell Henderson still had touches, but he had 19 yards on 10 carries. So if you're that desperate, go with Cam Akers. You are playing me this week, so I'd appreciate it if you hold your questions until after our matchup. But
that's fair.
Just kidding. I got nothing but love for you. So, all right, go ahead.
All right, and I have a little segment here for us. I got the top matchups for running backs for the upcoming fantasy playoffs. Weeks 14, 15, and 16 should be the standard.
Talk to me, Goose.
So I have the top 5. I went just with the top 5 here labeled.